what is the most ideal way to go, and what is the worst way to go?
Did I really write that? Okay, we're talking about it. Technically, the worst way to go is just too soon. But I think the worst way is any kind of suffering, like if you drown or like if you're burned, you know, just horrible. If the suffering is endured, I think that's the worst way to go. And I think the best way to go would probably be like in your sleep, you know, or like just really quickly. Ideally, everyone wants to go in their sleep, right? You know, when you've lived your life, you can literally lay your head and be like, yeah, all right. You know, that's what I would think.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like those first scenarios you were talking about, it's the fear.
Yes.
It's the like going not only in suffering and pain, but also fear.
Mm-hmm.
You're trapped.
Yeah, and that's not anything anybody wants. Not to mention, like, yeah, of course, the age thing, because you're thinking about, I don't know, like, well, maybe you're not thinking about that when you're young, but I'm always, you know, as a father, like thinking about, yeah, like someone that goes young, that's transforming a lot of people's lives.
Yeah.
Around that person.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Best way, yeah, definitely. In your sleep or doing something you love or doing something for something greater than yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Where you have your head around your life. Right? And you're like, yeah, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so even if you're losing your life, yeah, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's next? It's
Oh,
you.
Me?
Yeah.
Did Luca say it?
Oh yeah, you know.
Yeah?
Oh no!
No, yeah, you didn't answer.
No, I think I agree with the trap sentiment when you know there's no way out
Yeah.
of this. That's fuck. That's terrifying. Plus the pain. That's gotta be gotta be garbage. But I think if you go in your sleep or you know you made the right sacrifice to make a situation a lot better. I think that's a pretty noble way to call it a day.
Mm-hmm.
That's a spicy meatball.
Yeah.
It's a tricky question.
That's right.
Absolutely.
It's you.
All right, it's me. Ooh. It's funny because we've been talking about it, and I know you guys are appeasing me. I appreciate it, but do you even believe in an afterlife?
I think so. I think the world is too grand, and there's so many of just inexplainable kind of psychedelic mysteries that only point to something. I don't know. There's got to be some type of, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's another dimension or astral plane or something. Mm-hmm. But I think there has to be something else that we move on to the next level.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that we're a part of something bigger than ourselves. I believe that the end of our story, like there's so much more. There was so much more before, there's so much more after. I guess when I think of the word believe too, I think about it in terms of less what do I think and more what do I behave as though, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And I think that in that sense, I absolutely believe in the afterlife because I behave in a way where I believe that things matter beyond just materially what happens.
Right.
Like, I think that lying, for example, even if no one knows or whatever, or no one finds out, still matters, right? So I believe it matters on some level beyond me and materially what happens to me.
Okay.
So in that sense, even though I don't know what happens after you die, and I have no clue about that, I still believe in the afterlife in the sense that, like, I behave as though things matter more than just my material existence.
Okay.
That's like a complicated answer, I guess, to a simple question. But, like, yeah, I believe there's more. I believe my story is just so small. I'm a part of something bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could believe that. Like, you hear the stories about, like, 4-year-old kids who are like, I'm a World War I veteran, and you're like, what? You know, there's got to be some duplication, some replication. There's a loop somewhere, and we're somewhere in that loop, waiting to just re-loop, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
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 So, sounds like everybody believes
something. Well, we believe in something. That's what I mean by, like, believe in the sense that, like, at least you behave as though.
Right.
Right. I think we do. Like, it's hard for us to imagine that there's nothing.
Yeah.
Beyond ourselves, you know.
Yeah.
And so we act like it. We behave as though
your
there
decision
is.
making is definitely influenced by, even like you said, even if nobody knows, it's like, you know, and you feel it.
And yes.
And what irks me is, sure, we all have our white lies. We're all not perfect, but the folks who operate with no feeling, just you can feel like this person is a cold individual.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to.
There's something not human about
associate with that energy. Yeah. Yep.
There's something not human about it when you don't think that anything matters on a cosmic level.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
You don't feel like the energy you put into the world, good or bad, matters.
So why care for self if there is no post self?
Yeah, like there's a post something, whatever, even if we don't have the language to articulate what it is. I think we all believe that there's something bigger going on, and that on some level it makes sense. Even though it appears to us in the point where we're at in our scientific knowledge right now that it appears random. But on some level, we're like, I can't be random.
Yeah.
Anyways, your turn, I think. Oh, no, it was my turn.
Yeah, your turn.
These questions are dope. Oh, I took too many.
Did you take too many?
I thought they were stapled again. Okay, the one that I read said, what will your eulogy say? Like if I was gone now?
Yeah.
Today?
What would it say?
Survived by his wife and 2 daughters. Oh wait, sorry. I'm thinking of the obituary.
Jump the gun on that one.
Mass. It's like, we're in and we're out.
Like, yeah, that's a quick one. Okay.
Born 1982. Yeah, no. What would my eulogy say? I think the people closest to me would talk about the things I loved, my family, my friends, music, being with people. I love people. That's the greatest joy of my life, is connecting with people, and that would be it. I think that's what kind of the people that know me best would talk about, is how much I loved all the people. Hopefully more than a few people that would be there.
Yeah.
I think that's what they would talk about the most. I think they talk about that more than music. A lot more. That's really, music to me is like, I feel lucky. It's something that I love, and it's the way that I've been able to connect with so many people and express something that's at the core of who I am, so that I can connect more with people. But it's human beings that I love, that I'm fascinated by.
I think if I had a choice, and I reference the great Greg Lowe, whose father, Jack, passed away a couple years back, and my experiences with wakes and funerals, yeah, as heavy as it gets, open casket, horrible music. It just pushes a very sad vibe. And I remember at Jack's wake, he was a huge radio guy, radio veteran. Loved blues music, and that's what when I walked in, they were just blaring blues music, and there were all these old radios, and I'm like, this is genius. This gentleman, and obviously his son pushed this, is let's cut the bullshit, whatever we can, and speeches are, if someone wants to give a speech, that's fantastic, but let's just kind of revel in the stuff that made Jack happy, that defined who Jack was, how we knew him, and just kind of take in his spirit in whichever way we want to. And I think I would probably want, like, I'm gonna make that out in my will. Let's just have a nice, like, everyone, let's have a nice meal together. Let's listen to a lot of music, and let's enjoy each other's company. And Luca's ghost will haunt us all. But yeah, let's just kind of enjoy each other and enjoy his spirit.
Yeah, cool.
Just the stuff that he did.
That's dope.
Yeah. I've always thought that funerals had to be sad. Like you have to be somber. Someone has died. Have some respect. And then I saw, I forget if it was a movie or a TV show. It was a walk, I think they're called, in New Orleans, where they had the people walking to the gravesite and they had a band.
Yeah.
And on the way there, you play the somber music. Then you have the burial. And on the way back, it's a whole celebration. And that never made sense to me until my cousin passed away. And then they were like, don't wear black to the funeral. And I'm like, what? First of all I have in my closet is black. And second of all, it's like, it's a funeral. Like, funeral equals black. You wear black to a funeral. And it was just that change of perspective. Like, yes, this person is physically gone, but let us not forget all the wonderful things that they are still to us and that they have contributed throughout their life, however short, however long, on this earth. So, and it's like, what would that person want for you? A lot of times, when you go to a funeral, it's like, oh, they wouldn't want you to be sad. They would want you to be happy, or, they'd want you to feel okay, knowing that they're not in pain anymore, or, whatever the cause may be. So I always think of, like, my eulogy would just be a bunch of, like, really bad jokes. Just, like, things that would be like, oh, that's such a Phoenix joke. And, like, the only reason you'd want to cry is because the joke is so bad. Because I can't think of even though I wouldn't be there physically, just knowing that people are sad because I'm gone makes me sad. Yeah. So I would definitely want a eulogy that was, like, full of jokes or, like, really embarrassing moments and just stuff that's like, oh, that's so Phoenix, Yeah. And definitely I would want a big band to just take me home, because especially in West Indian culture, like, you're gonna have music, whether it's at church and they're singing the hymns, or you'll have someone sing at your funeral. Music's gonna be involved. So just like you're a lover of people, and music happens to be that caveat or that way to bring them together. Same thing, man. Bad jokes and good music. Let's do it, Yeah.
Do you feel like, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say on that track, on the track Death, something that stood out to me was just, like, these super triumphant gospel harmonies that are just kind of repeating this mantra of death, and you're just kind of really the hero of this EP is exercising a lot of their fears and just things that have been affecting them, but the music is just so powerful and just triumphant. Like, is that a way of just kind of exercising and kind of and digesting just kind of everything that's kind of been going down, and kind of, I don't know, just kind of you just trying to push through and kind of understand what's been going on.
Yes. I actually, when I was recording that song, so the part where it changes from like minor to major, that's like the acceptance. And even in that part, and I'm still like pleading that I don't want to go, and like I actually broke down like when I was recording that in the studio.
Wow.
Because I was just like, holy crap, like I really don't want to die. You know, and I was just thinking of all the people that I know that have died, and I'm like, I don't think any of them wanted to die, but they still died. So even just repeating death, it was kind of my way of like being like, it's not going anywhere. When it comes, it comes. So it needs to be sweet, it needs to be beautiful, it needs to be gentle, all the ways that we would want to go. I tried to make that in that song, because very few people, I should say, wish to go, right? And even in speaking with people who have dealt with depression and suicide, a lot of people who've survived their attempts are like, the minute I jumped, or the minute I, you know, did whatever it was, I was like, oh shit, no. Right? And they're the fortunate ones who got to get a second chance. So yeah, like death freaks me the fuck out. So if I can make it beautiful, and just, even just for my own peace of mind, that was what I had the opportunity to do with that song. I was like, look, these are all the things that I'm petrified about. These are all the things that are on my heart, and I'm still afraid, you know? And that acceptance was just, you know, kind of comforting, reassuring to me that, hey man, we all gotta go, right? So why not leave that beautiful reminder?
Most basic question, but what sparked the project for you?
The pandemic.
Yeah.
The pandemic. I had friends who died and I couldn't go to their funeral. Like that fucked me up. Like to this day, I'm just like, I couldn't even be there in their last minutes. I had a friend who went to the hospital. And I was like, hey man, you know, everything's gonna be fine. Call me when you get home. And never saw her again. And I was just like, this can't be life. And it was like, you hear about these things, or you know, you don't think it's gonna happen like here and now. We're like, we live in North America, like pandemic, economy, like never that. And then it just hits you. And then it was the uncertainty. And then it was the seeing people be selfish in the most worst ways. All of us going through things, all of us needing supplies, and yet you have people reselling Lysol wipes. I just couldn't believe it. So this pandemic, and how I looked at life, you know, as we see it, and death as we know it, and hoped that through it all there would be some afterlife that was worth saying, like, we made it. That was the vision, and that was the hope through this project.
It's beautiful.
Thanks.
I mean, to me, that death song, kind of lyrically, you open it up from one specific character to you start to talk about different kinds of death, economic stuff, the pandemic more generally, you know, like a lot of different things. I don't even know if I have a question, but like kind of comes back to what we were talking about earlier in terms of this moment and where are we at. And this is a time of death.
Yeah.
And just reckoning with that, all the feelings that come with that, and how do you make peace with death for one person, for ourselves, but also the general death that we're going through.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. We're grieving, we're mourning.
We're grieving, we're mourning.
And there are stages to grief, right? I don't know, there's supposed to be like 5 of them. I feel like I've just been in the denial part for like 2.5 years, like everyone else has, right?
Yeah.
Post-pandemic, we're still in it.
Yeah.
Blows my mind. So yeah, all those phases, we're grieving as a society, as a species. Very few people on this planet have experienced a pandemic before. And like you said earlier, our brains are wired to want to know why.
Yeah.
And so when we don't know why or how, we go to a default answer or a default response, you know? And yeah, I guess this project was a way for me to be like, okay, I don't have the answers, and I'm going to sing about it.
Yes.
I'm going to sing about all the answers I don't have.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I had one more question. Piggybacking off the gospel thing. Tell me this, like, good or bad, good and bad, maybe, or good or bad. Gospel, obviously a musical influence. I'm guessing part of your upbringing.
Yep.
So a musical influence, but also just a personal influence. How has the faith that you grew up in affected your ideas about life, death, and the afterlife, or your ability to process all of this? Good or bad? Good and bad. I think for all of us, it's maybe good and bad.
It's definitely good and bad.
Yeah.
My mom is the first female elder of her church, and
Wow.
she wears that like a badge of honor. I'm not a hugely religious person now. I grew up in the church. I grew up learning about faith and how we should have this faith despite what goes on around us. And I always struggled with that. I was always a kid who needed like ration and reason, and you don't find that in church. It's just faith and hope and belief. And one day I just asked my mom, I said, what's the difference between religion and magic? Like why? And the church that she goes to, of the Seventh-day Adventist denomination. So like not just Christian, like they're like the
Heavy duty.
yeah, they're like Christian 101, you know, like veganism and like hardcore stuff. So I asked her, so they don't mess with magic, right? I'm like, what's the difference between like religion and your beliefs and magic? And she was just like, well, we have belief and we have hope and faith. And I said, well, yeah, when you see a magic trick, you don't really know how it's done, but you still have the faith that he's gonna pull your card, or you know, you believe that he can make that whatever disappear. And from then I just struggled with this whole notion that there could be a being that was everywhere and knew everything and could do anything, but would do absolutely nothing about the suffering and the unfairness and the general hurt and anguish that we as a society would go through. Have never gotten, and I mean, I like to think of myself as a rational person. If I don't understand something, I'll ask for explanation. I'll really try. But that was probably up until like third year university, when I took a philosophy of religion class.
Yeah.
And I got my mind rocked, and I was like, okay, hold on a second. There was the teacher, the professor, because when you get to that level, you get paid a certain amount, you're not a teacher, right? You're a professor. So the professor posed the question about omnipotence, which is all powerfulness, right? And he said, I'm going to blow your minds for a second. Unless you've already heard this, then whatever. Just pretend. He asked the question, if God is all powerful, can he create both an immovable object and an unstoppable force? And I was like, yeah, he's God. He can do that. Like, why would he not be able to? He said, well, if he's God and he can create those two objects, what happens when the two objects meet? And I was like, well, that's a good question. So my belief got rocked, because I'm like, okay, maybe all powerful means something else, right? If you can't create something that when two objects that are not supposed to move meet, you can't really work your way around that. It's either you're all powerful or you're not. So that question really messed me up. Like when you talk about how religion, good or bad, it was like all good up until that point. And then I was just full of questions. And in speaking with my mom, like my mom is love. Like, I don't know how else to describe her. She is love. She doesn't care what you believe in. She doesn't care who you love, whatever it is. Even in the strictest denomination that she exists, she's like, look, it's not my place to judge. It's not my role to judge. My job is to love and show love and compassion. And she does that very well. So even having these conversations with her kind of hurts me because I'm like, she's not answering it. She's not doing well, right? On this test. Like, she's not. But seeing how religion has solidified her faith and defined who she is, I'm grateful for that in that way.
That makes sense.
But when I apply it to me, it just doesn't fit because I'm that brain that needs those answers. And just faith, hope, belief is not going to get me through. Do I think that there's something greater than us? I would be very ignorant to think that there's not something greater than us. We can't be it. This can't be the elite of the species. Like, there's got to be something, you know? Yeah.
I mean, I asked because even if you don't practice any religion, a lot of times people that grow up with it, it's left some indelible mark.
Absolutely.
You know, in terms of how we think about life, death, afterlife, how we process. So I'm always curious, like, what stuck and what hasn't with people, or what, you know,
the vocals definitely
what stuck that, you know, what stuck that they're glad stuck, what stuck that they're wish that they could unstick.
You know what? I'm glad that the musical upbringing, because like all the best musicians started in church, you know? So that part, I'm glad that's stuck. I'm glad that she still has patience with me, and that helps me to have patience with other people. So I think just learning lessons, right? Without the overall application of religion, you can learn general stories of patience and humility and things like that are just good for us naturally in human nature.
I think you say on the album, we're here to learn, not to judge.
Yeah.
Is that what you say?
We're here to learn, not judge.
We're here to learn, not judge. And that's like, when I heard that, I'm like, yeah, that's Phoenix. That is you, though. You know,
that's me?
That is you. And you said something similar about your mom. So that's like, you know, I think you're a very compassionate and non-judgmental person and a very open person.
Thanks, Shad.
So I'll say that at your eulogy, and then I'll tell some bad jokes.
I appreciate it.
But yeah, that clearly that passed down. That came from somewhere, and that passed down, and you know, it's helping you process these things.
Yeah. Woo, for sure. Had to take him to church for a second.
Did you have anything you wanted to say on
no,
that?
I just thought it was funny. It was like, you're like, I'm gonna outlive you, and I'm gonna say this.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Outlast.
I'm like, is that
theoretically
kind of like an offhanded insult?
Threat.
Yeah,
it's a low-key threat.
Now that I think about it,
nevertheless,
there's no way.
No,
actually.
instead of it as nice.
If you
Well,
have
let's
any
make-
idea how much McDonald's I've eaten in my lifetime,
no, that's actually the antidote. So you're good.
Yeah,
they've hidden it in the fries. I'm
I
convinced.
hope so that's my only hope, actually. Yeah, I think Luca was next.
Oh yes, the cod. If you could take one thing with you when you go, what would it be? First thing
One thing, Luca.
First thing I thought, I was like, oh, a loved one, but that's not good. Someone to spend the afterlife with. Yeah, that's horrible.
And it's on tape.
Yeah.
Well, there's a Greek mythology like that, isn't there? There's got to be some myth, some Greek or
maybe, I don't know, if Orpheus and Eurydice got up. I can't remember how that story wrapped up, but something to take. I don't know, something to help pass the time. Maybe a soccer ball or like a drum kit or something like that.
Just in
something
case.
to just have some fun with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just in case there's
Yeah.
nothing.
Just
Right?
in case I meet Maradona, I'll have
There
the
you
soccer
go.
ball, I'll kick it
Yes.
around, do some coke, and just get on with it.
That's a life worth living.
Yeah. Something
In the
yeah,
afterlife.
something to maybe spark a conversation. I don't know, with these characters that I meet in that next level.
So I don't know what I would want to take to the other side, but one thing I do think about is if I'm lucky and I get many years and I'm in my later years, the thing I would want is a memory, is memory of all the people. All the people. And I could just entertain myself just remembering all the people that I've enjoyed. And that I feel like I could literally do that just every day. You know, if I make it to 80 or something like that, and I was just on my own and I didn't have much time left, it's like I could just be entertained thinking about all the people. So that's what I want, memory of everyone.
Like a scrapbook, or you'd want the actual?
I just want it up in there. So I can just go I could just, mental Rolodex, any person, just go.
Nice.
Oh yes, that person. So and we did that, and that was so fun. And they were they were so lovely because of this and that and the other thing, and this is what it felt like to be around them. And then okay, next one.
Next one.
Or even your memories back.
Yeah.
I think I can only speak for myself, but there's so many times where someone will bring something up and it's like, oh yeah,
Yes.
that was amazing.
And you feel
I
it.
can't believe I forgot that. Or I
Yeah.
forgot just my connection to that person or that place or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, those are good, guys. I don't know if I could only bring one thing.
I said a soccer ball, so I set my own bar pretty low.
Yeah, and then Chad's like, I would want memories. And I'm like, somewhere in the middle? I really don't know. I've struggled with this. One thing, because there's always something I'm like, oh, I would bring that. That would go well with my, oh, right, only one thing. No. Like an endless supply of licorice? I don't know. I'm not aiming high
Ooh,
enough.
what's your brand?
Twizzler.
And you just don't know if they have them over there. You want to make sure, you want to be safe.
Yeah, that's all a girl needs.
What flavor?
Strawberry.
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Gotta have them.
Really? Twizzlers? That was,
No.
that was,
You know what? You didn't learn the lesson.
you
Go back to
you didn't think we had Twizzlers.
of all the
actually pretty
things.
good.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me read.
It's just like an endless array of things.
Let me think deeper. Okay.
I would want to watch that.
Shad's memories of all
No,
the
I would
loved
just want to
ones.
watch God react to every single person. Really, a soccer ball?
He's standing by the counter
Just an
at the-
endless just for laughs gag.
The Heaven Dollarama.
Yeah.
We got everything. The name doesn't even make any sense. You don't have to pay.
Yeah. It'd be like heaven all around. See? Tell them at my eulogy. Okay. What? One thing. Probably a keyboard.
Yeah.
I could just make some jams.
Yeah.
I would want to play Tears in Heaven by Eric Clapton in the afterlife.
Sure.
It would be kind of messed up if I didn't go to heaven, though.
Yeah. That's true.
Be a very awkward talent show down below. Tears in Heaven.
That's where Clapton's probably headed. Not to be dark. I think he's
You know what?
overrated, and he's
When
just
I-
been fucking really weird the last.
He's weird, right? Okay.
chunk
I
of
thought it
time.
was just me. I don't know if you heard his...
No.
Okay. He
What's he
released a
on?
new single, and he's
Okay.
on, the anti-vax train.
Is it an
And-
anti-vax single?
Yes.
Oh. Wow.
And it's not a good song either. If it was
I can't imagine it would be a banger.
No, but it's not even, I wouldn't say it's an Eric Clapton song. The
Yeah.
writing is, this is what got me. The writing at first, he's like, gotta take a stand, every man, freedom for all. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm with this. And then all of a sudden it was just stand up to the government and And then it's like an animated video, so it's very clear what agenda he's pushing.
Yes.
And then I was like, close browser. We don't need any more of that.
Damn.
Yeah. But I will
Things have
remember
gotten
him
weird.
for...
Things have gotten weird.
Yes. And that's the thing. Like, making this project has taken me down a deeper, darker road.
Mm-hmm.
And then for other artists that look up to and admire, it's taken them on a weird journey too. So it's like...
Well, this is the problem with people being by themselves.
Yes. People shouldn't be by themselves.
Nope.
No.
Right?
But you gotta assume Eric Clapton has like a legion of like Claptonites at his beck and call that he can kind of hang out with. Unless they're all just probably all yes people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
Sure.
issue, you know?
They're like, "Oh, you're
Somebody
back?
would
Yes."
say,
Rethink.
don't write a song about, this is not gonna, just musically,
Mm-hmm.
it's not gonna work. It's just not gonna inspire good. Name another really dope anti-vaccination pop song.
Yeah. Just one.
Just give me one.
Yeah.
This compilation album is not gonna be the next Live Aid or
It's not
something.
what. It's no.
Bob Geldof's not on
It's
it.
actually the opposite of Live
Yeah.
8, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't think it over. And yes, he probably had yes men in his corner, who are just excited for new Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
Because I know I was until I heard the full song. So,
He's in Kid Rock territory now.
yeah, I think he's not even like canceled. He's just been picked up and gently placed on the shelf with all the canceled
That's it.
people.
That's
It's
it.
not even officially like, we're
At a
just like,
certain age.
okay.
Yeah, at a certain
Yes,
age.
that's what you can age out of
Oh yeah.
cancellation and
Of
just
course.
fast track to shelving.
Shelf.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Exactly.
what he's done. But yeah, Tears in Heaven, man. I'd want to bring my keyboard so I could play that.
Mm. Was it your turn?
Probably. Chatty Cathy over here. So let's see. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but I color coded them.
Mhm.
All the yellow ones are about the afterlife. I think the
Phoenix so
red
keen.
ones are about death, and
I
the
wish
blue
I could go
ones-
back in time and study with Phoenix.
you know what? Sometimes I'm all right. All right, so, who would you hire? We know it's not Eric Clapton, to compose your life's soundtrack.
Ooh.
What's his name? Toy Story. Randy Newman.
Randy Newman. Yeah, Randy Newman would do a great job.
Yeah, he's a soundtrack guy. Either Randy Newman. I answered too fast. Either Randy Newman or Quincy Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Quincy's the right answer.
Right? I answered way too fast. Can we fix that in post?
You don't want a Lin-Manuel Miranda joint?
But does he compose
He-
or does he just write them?
No, he does it all. You can
He
have
does-
Phoenix on Broadway,
Oh
on
my
Disney
gosh.
Plus.
That's not a bad idea. Okay, I'd like to
Just throwing it out there.
revisit my answers.
Do they have to be alive or dead?
That's a good question. I didn't speculate. I did not specify either. So no, just whoever you would like, whoever you want to dig up to.
Has anyone ever heard Randy Newman like speak like regularly outside of a song or something? I just whenever I think of him like singing, he always has that.
Yeah.
It's like, I wonder what he actually sounds like. He has such a funny way of.
Do you
Or
know?
Aaron
But a
Neville,
nice,
or Aaron Neville.
Aaron Neville.
Look at this life.
I don't know much.
I don't know much.
Wow.
I see ya.
But I know I love you.
Killing it.
Oh, that's a good song.
Do you
Great song.
like? Have you ever gone out as Aaron Neville for Halloween?
No,
Vocally?
I don't think I could. do it.
Vocally.
He's great though.
The best.
That's actually really good Aaron Neville.
Thank you.
I'm
It
actually
is.
kind of
It
jealous.
is really, really good.
Yeah.
There's a live video of him performing that song. Quick sidebar. And he gets applause after the first verse. He's there with Linda Ronstadt. It's like at the Oscars or something.
Okay.
He just does the first verse, and people are just like, "That was sick!" Like they didn't clap for every verse.
Oh.
They're just like, "That was the illest thing I've ever seen."
Was it like the first time they've ever heard him?
It's just to behold it live. because he's so big, and then he has that little, holds a little mic. Look at this life, you know?
Yeah.
And he does the
And
whole
people
thing.
were like,
Yeah,
It's a beautiful song.
It
Like
is
those
a
two
beautiful
together, it's like.
I
can
low
you
key
guys
forgot
just
she was
fall
on
in
the
love,
song.
like right
of
now?
course.
Like, and he just does like these really nice little runs as well.
Oh yeah.
That are
That
they're
song
great.
and Bird on a Wire. You're like a bird. Oh, the wire. Yeah.
I
But
would
I
want
don't-
him to play me. In
Right.
The musical.
You would?
Hundo P.
Okay. I don't
Aaron
know.
Neville as Shad would be. That's my greatest and final gift to the world.
Yeah?
Linda
I-
Ronstadt as Luca Capone. Randy Newman as Phoenix Pagliacci. That's it.
Let's make it happen, guys.
Done.
Before we go, we
That's
gotta.
the film of this
That's the
interview.
film of
Yeah,
this
Whether it
agreed.
is interview into a film.
I'll
in
make some calls.
whoever's life story, this interview, that's who plays it.
That's note to self.
Yeah, those are all great. I would go with Lin-Manuel Miranda because my nephews and nieces love him. He's the number one in their
Yeah.
world. So I just feel like that would help my story live on longer. Is if their favorite artist did the thing.
That would be.
That's nice.
That's fair.
I'll go with the same route,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll go with like some classic 70s prog rock.
Mm.
So either like Rush or
Mm.
ELP or something, because they would write these triumphant songs where you feel like, okay, I'm going into battle right now against
Yes.
this fucking octopus on the pirate ship.
Yes.
And this keyboard solo has been rolling for the last 15 minutes.
Yes.
But for me, like, my family introduced me to that music. Like, my father, like, that's what we played in the car. It was these, like, I was 5 years old. Okay, let's get into this 20-minute Rush track or 20-minute Yes track, King Crimson, all that stuff. So that's what I connect with my family the most.
Yeah.
So I think that would, work that into some type of soundtrack. And just because it also was so ridiculous at the same time.
Just original Genesis lineup.
Oh, of course. No, I don't go past Steve Hackett. So
Just
as soon as
boom.
Steve Hackett left, I'm done with
Original Genesis lineup. That would be a sick. Sick.
Yeah, as long as you don't paint me as a because unfortunately there are some songs. There are two prog rock epics about pedophiles, and there's Jethro Tull's Aqualung, and there's Genesis. That sounds so strange, but Musical Box by Genesis, which is about a young person who gets trapped in a musical box, and then when they come out of the musical box, they're an old man who's still in love with the young girl that they were friends
I
with.
see.
It's so creepy. So as long as no one takes any strange, odd liberties, where someone's like, "Oh, look at," I'm good.
box.
Yeah, just pay me as some weird, like, strange, pirate ship or a black hole or something strange. I don't know, Cygnus X1 styles. I don't know, just have fun with it. Nothing too sketch.
Nice.
I'm not a sketchy person, but you never know.
Nice.
Hold the sketch.
Yeah, hold the sketch.
Okay, let's see what I got here.
Is it you or is it Luca?
I think you just read one, right?
Did I read one? Yeah, I just read one.
Okay.
I'm messing
Okay.
up the game.
This is a short one. Burial or cremation?
Cremate me.
Yeah. I think so too.
Yeah.
I think it's just whatever is environmentally
Yeah.
better. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Speaking of environmentally better, they now have the option for your body to be packed into a thing of soil with like a sapling, and then you can be buried as a tree.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I don't know if that's good for the soil.
Yeah, whatever works, but also with a with a little bit of, how can I say it? I do think human life is sacred, and so for anybody, I would hope there'd be at the same time an element of ceremony and respect
Right.
for that. So whatever works for the earth, but then do something
Yeah.
to just honor. Any life should be honored, but that's it.
Sure.
I think that's nice. Cremation is I think that's probably the way I'd want to go. The tree is a lovely idea. if I were to go a very sinister route, I would somehow get my greatest enemy to have to eat my dead body. But I think that would be impossible. So yeah, probably cremation. Cremation is the way to go.
Wait, now hold on.
Till the laws like ease up a little
Yeah.
bit.
I was gonna say Germany has this whole thing, like where if you consent to being eaten, it's technically not murder. So, and if you're already dead, I mean, it's definitely not murder.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's this whole thing with this teacher, I think from America, who went to like teach abroad in Germany, was on some dark chat room, met with a guy who was like, yeah, my fantasy is to be eaten. And
you were in the same chat room? Or is this the story? You were just like a bystander. Just like, ooh, I'm gonna exit. But I want to see where this is going.
Yeah, no, I definitely wasn't online that day, but they met up and he killed him and cooked him and ate him, and then the cops were like, you killed him, and he showed him all the
paperwork,
chat, and
recipe.
It's cool.
Yeah.
He said it's cool.
Yeah. Chill, guys. It's all good. Don't worry.
Cool.
But that's an interesting one. I've never gotten that. I also chose cremation because my family likes to play a lot of board games, and we used to have like family games nights. So, I would love to be the hourglass for one of the games.
Oh, nice.
Right? So I never really miss a family game night. So there's that. It'll be a really big ass hourglass, but yeah,
Game of
one
life,
of those
you're just...
literally
Yeah.
just all around the board 8 times before the sand runs out. But yeah, definitely don't want to be put in the ground and then have to pop up for Michael Jackson's Thrillers every Halloween. Yeah.
That's true. It's exhausting.
I agree. Yeah, it's poor zombies, man. They don't get a year off. Every year, Halloween, they're out there dancing for their lives. I'm sorry. Okay.
It's a weird hit song.
Yes,
It's a weird
right?
hit song, yeah.
But it's like, and especially for that time, right? The 80s wasn't really big on like the horrorcore and, or maybe it was.
For movies or music?
Right, because I'm thinking also like musicals and stuff. They had Rocky Horror Picture Show, so maybe it was. That was the 80s, right?
I guess like late 70s, 80s. But it wasn't like it wasn't scary, but it was like a spooky, crazy, like kind of sci-fi, sexy, like adventure. Like that was just a wild movie. But I think like 80s, like it was the dawn of horror movies. But then for Michael to just kind of like swerve it into music, like that video is, I can watch that video on repeat. Like it's so crazy.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
it's
And the song,
basically a
obviously,
movie
is
in itself.
Song's not bad.
Didn't it win an award like for the movies? It won. I know it won an MTV Music Video Award in like the 80s.
It was so far ahead, like it was just nobody was doing anything close to that.
Right.
But it is a strange, it's an R&B song about Halloween. I think it's just
basically,
weird.
yeah.
That's weird. It's a flex. But that album is all flexes, It's just like I'm gonna make the best soft rock song of all time, the best post-disco song of all time. I'm just gonna make the best song of all time in kind of my genre and every genre adjacent to mine.
Yeah.
And he did 2 classic Halloween songs.
Yes.
He did Thriller and he did Somebody's Watching Me with Rockwell.
That's true.
He sang on it.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
So he didn't do it. He didn't
true.
write the song, but he sang on it. So
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
He likes his Halloween.
He does.
Character.
What a guy.
Okay, your turn.
Are you afraid to die? I would say I don't think it's kind of like been a thing. It's not something I focus on. I feel like, knock on wood, in the future, it's maybe something that I'll probably come to terms with in whichever way that I'm supposed to be moving on. But it's something I think right now that I try not to focus on. But if I ever do randomly, it's certainly something that trips me out. But I think it's something that I'll have to come to terms with. Otherwise, it'll just it won't be too fun. But yeah. Right now, maybe not. Maybe I should come to terms with it a little more, so that when it does come through, I'm not so unprepared to deal with it. Yeah.
I'm scared of shit. I also don't want to die in like an embarrassing way. Like I'm not that I'm vain, but like just I watch a lot of crime shows, and it's just like, 32-year-old so died while trying to get in the bath. Like I don't want to be embarrassed and dead.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
don't make me both. But it's also scary because I also don't want to be like a ghost with unfinished business. And I'm always busy. I'm one of those people who like always has something on the to-do list.
Yes.
So it's like, when's a good time to die? I don't know when I'm done this to-do list, because there's always something to do on it.
Yes.
That's my biggest fear, unfinished business.
I think I share your thing a little bit of like, I really don't like it. It's not even embarrassing as much as like, I really don't like accidents. I really don't, or like just, like you were doing something like fun and then I don't like that.
No,
I hate that. So I do have a fear of that, it keeps me from doing anything like bungee jumping, skydiving. It's like, I don't want that to be the end. Like, damn. I just wanted to have little fun.
Would you, like, is it that you want to do those things?
No.
Oh, you don't even want to do
those?
But
the main reason why is because I'm like, I don't really want to anyways. But like, another reason why is because I just feel like that would be so, I can't do that to my parents. Like, that's how I went, like, just trying to like jump off a plane. Like you knew that's a bad idea, jumping out of a plane. What, did we not raise you to know that?
Yeah, you can't disrespect the rents. Like, you gotta. They raised you.
They put in so much effort.
They didn't think they'd have to tell you.
For you to, we forgot. We didn't tell you that.
All those anti-bungee jumping courses.
Yeah.
We set you up for. You passed all of them.
Just to make it to this.
I was in a similar situation like that, actually. It was the Korean Harvest Festival, and there was a noodle eating contest. And so,
sorry, this is already funny.
I was like, okay, I gotta take part. Like, I love those noodles. Let me check it out. Yeah. So I sit behind a seat. I'm facing, against like a bunch of people, and I saw everyone else is eating, and I'm like, okay, they don't have a gag reflex. Yeah. It's just like, just down, like a medium bowl of noodles. And I'm like, if I follow their path, I'll choke and die. So I'm going to lose. I'm going to just take my time with it, have the worst score, and just enjoy my free bowl, because I don't want to die choking on a bowl of noodles
in a contest
at the Korean Harvest Festival. And I don't want to tarnish the image of this festival either. No. So I'm just going to have to take the L, because that would just be too embarrassing and just too fucking stupidly traumatic.
Can you imagine? Oh, that's probably like the second worst way to go. First would be like on the toilet, definitely. Which I learned actually is very common, especially in elderly people, because something to do with like the getting up and like the heart rate and having a heart attack. So a lot of older people are found in the bathroom. And I always joke with T. I'm like, yo, if I go out in the bathroom, please just drag me out and put me somewhere else. Like, just don't let them find me in the bathroom. Tamper with the scene, please. I just can't. That's anywhere but the bathroom.
Here's a kind of, I don't know if it's a related question, but it's a question I think about all the time. At what age would you just be like, you know what? It's cool. I had a good life. I'm only eating Cinnabons from here on out.
I would say like 90 though.
I feel like 90 is a good time where it's like, I mean, how much time is it going to save me to not do that? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I think you also have to consider like how much can I put my teeth through. Like I
That's
also have
right.
to be at optimum chow down,
Yeah.
at optimum chow
No.
down level. So I gotta eat
Yeah.
and be able to chew and do my thing, and then also just
That's right.
because
Yeah.
again you gotta avoid dying on the toilet.
Yes.
So it's like I gotta make sure that I can take care of business and
Yeah.
not have someone drag me covered in shit on top of my bed somehow.
Try to
Try to make it like normal. Like, why is Luca covered in fucking shit for? Oh yeah, he had a heart attack in bed and he shit himself. So
It's the like one of the most indignified ways. Indignified? Yeah, because it's not dignified, right? Ways to go. There's no dignity in death. Somebody told me once. It really isn't. But yeah, I think 90 is a good age.
To just be like, it's from now on, it's just cheeseburgers and Cinnabons.
Yeah.
Are Cinnabons your thing? I'm curious.
Yeah, and I avoid them
Why?
because I love them so much.
Get this man an endorsement.
I just can't be around them, you know what I mean?
So
I'm gonna put your picture up at the Cinnabon in Duffer Mall.
Oh yeah, I can't go in Duffer Mall. Duffer Mall, Yonge and Eglinton Subway. I know where they
that's
all
what I was
are.
gonna say. Like that's the one I know. It's at
The only one I know is
Subway.
at Duffer Mall.
I know where they all
And
are.
it always smells so good.
I know.
Always.
Like, oh, I don't even like Cinnabon that much, but I'll just crush a whole
Same.
thing right now.
I'll walk in, I'll be like, oh my god, Cinnabon, and then I'm like, I'll have a pretzel from Annie's Pretzels. Like I can't eat
Yeah.
Cinnabon. I have old people teeth now.
Oh,
Like they're very
yeah.
sensitive
Yeah.
to sugar.
Mm-hmm.
So the minute I bite in, they're like, you gotta brush your teeth, like
Yeah.
right now. So yeah, got elderly teeth.
How many is there left here? I think there's just one, and it's on you, so that's
Is
perfect.
it just one?
Oh no, there's two. Sorry,
There's two.
I'm not
Oh,
dexterous.
wait a minute. Nope,
Oh,
there's
no.
3.
My
There's
hands are
12.
bad.
And Luca probably has like 9.
Oh,
I have
yeah,
100. Yeah.
that's right. Okay.
All good. Let's make this.
I have a
This will
whole
be the
thing.
lightning round, okay?
Okay, let me-
Ooh. What age / era / memory would you want to revisit in the afterlife?
Ooh. Are you
You
going
first.
back with the
Me
knowledge
first?
that, like, are you going back with the
That's a
knowledge
good
that you
question.
obtained?
Would I say visit? Or I said revisit, but like you've never been there, so why would I say that? Let's say you're not. Let's say you don't have the knowledge. What era would you want to be part of? And go back and be wiped that you were ever forward.
Okay. I know my
Oh, era
answer.
in history.
Yeah,
Okay.
it could be an
so-
era.
Oh, you're traveling back in time. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That changes the whole
Okay.
thing. I thought it was your own kind of history.
Yeah.
Let's make it. Let's broaden
duel?
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Duel?
All of history.
Yeah. Just do dual.
Okay, so if I'm going dual and I have no recollection, I'm going from, again, just clean. I'm going to go, late 2000s, 2008, 2009, starting up at CHY. Starting up at the station again, because that was awesome. That was
Yeah.
the best time. Music was, I still contend that late 2000s, early 2010 era was, for me, just like my favorite golden era.
That's
I'm going back in time. Dang, probably. And I'm just going back as my age now or a child. Like I'm being born.
Damn, Luke, you're asking a lot of questions.
Okay, if I'm going back now, I'm gonna go start of the '60s, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Also, favorite musical era, and I think I don't know, just a cool time to just kind of see what's going on in the world.
That was like the era, like civil rights into hippie movement.
A lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
You.
Me, I definitely avoid the 50s.
Yeah.
Just skip that whole era. Probably. So like going back, clean slate, 80s. I just feel like I was born in the 80s. I would just get it. And R&B music was so like, that was a beat for every song. So I would definitely catch on quick. And then if I were to go back and like just kind of have some knowledge, I've always been interested to go back to like the Baroque period, where it was like literally just pianos and string instruments. No 808s, no drums at that point. Like what were, or maybe there were drums. I think maybe like big timpanis, right?
Yeah. Big cymbals and stuff.
And it's just like, how did you guys do that? How did you see music and then put a pen to paper and be like, I'm going to write these notes on paper, like actual sheet music? I got to see that. Yeah.
In my own life, it'd be fun to see childhood again, but with, you know, that level of perspective when you're older. It'd be really fascinating to look at and to enjoy. But yeah, other than that, I don't know, it'd be hard to pick a time in life, you know, maybe late 20s or something like that. That was nice.
Jazz.
Nice moment. In history, it'd be cool to go back and see how my distant relatives lived, you know, in the 1800s, 1900s, you know, what that felt like. But also, I've often thought about, like, if there was a time machine, I went back in time, and, you know, how would I make money or whatever. And the only thing I could do would be to go back to, say, the 60s and invent, like, every genre of music and write all the hit songs.
But that's the thing, like, you can't even go
just, like,
for anyone else.
be the greatest songwriter of all time.
That's not a
but
bad
you
idea.
could go back and be in, like, hey, everybody, we're in I don't know, some random cover band. We're in I don't know. But we can make a living as a cover band playing shows and stuff. Like, you could actually live as a musician, or you could just walk into a radio station, like, got any experience? No. Okay, you'll be on the morning show. It's like, all right, I'm in. Like, it just drives me nuts hearing, you know, stories from old musicians and radio vets where it's like, I literally walked in and I was just playing in this, you know, random, I didn't know how to play drums, and I was playing in this big band, cover band, and I was able to buy a house and this and that. It's like, holy shit. You're killing me.
Show me how.
But if I can go back with perspective, definitely in high school. For sure.
Damn.
Something I wanted to ask.
Yes.
You know, talking about Prince, talking about these amazing artists, and I was touching on it before we got into the conversation, but, like, there's a 3-song EP, and I feel like there's obviously concept albums that exist. This is like a concept EP, so I was curious, like, I feel like you've given like a little taste of what could be like a seriously sprawling kind of epic. The first question is, like, what, and to both of you, any concept albums that kind of stand out that you've kind of dug into throughout your lives?
Secret Life of Plants by Stevie Wonder. I was like, what? A whole album about plants? Like, is he gonna sample plants? And he did, apparently, which is wild. But that album made me appreciate the instrumental part of songwriting and, like, sitting with the music without words. I think that the way that album was put together was so well done that there were the moments where you're like, oh, I can almost feel what the plant would feel like, or I can imagine myself as a plant, you know. And then on the songs where he was singing, you know, you had Sarita Johnson, I think was his wife at the time, was helping write those songs. So you have her beautiful voice, and that reminds you of, like, spring when all the flowers bloom. And I think that's the idea for a concept album. You want someone to sit with it from start to finish and ride those emotions that you were feeling when you wrote that. So, I mean, for me, my EP is a very short ride, but the emotions are what would take you along throughout that. And so, Secret Life of Plants, Stevie Wonder, I play that to this day. And I think it followed a movie. There was, like, a movie that went along with it, where they talked about, like, how plants respond to, like, environments without smoke, and with really cool documentary. I'll find it and I'll send it to you guys.
That's cool to hear because I'm always curious, like what your influences are.
Yeah, pretty much Stevie Wonder. That's it. Yeah, not too deep, but he just his vulnerability too. I mean, he's blind, and he has songs like "Girl Blue" and "Golden Lady," and it's just like, what are you seeing that we are not? And that's what I try to capture in moments and put into song.
Yeah.
You know, with all of the senses we have intact, there are still things we don't see. So we have to feel those things.
Yeah. But even, on that first track there, you're getting this gorgeous soundscape of life. Someone walking, a couple people walking to a party or something, you're getting the street sounds and stuff, which is so nice. For me, like my two big reference points, whenever you sing, I get Stevie Wonder as a reference point, but I get, and we've talked about this, like Jasmine Sullivan, I think just in terms of her scope, and then for me, I think the best concept album of the last, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 years, Channel Orange, like I get big Frank Ocean vibes there as well, but yeah, just I'm looking forward to just kind of, I think I haven't taken it in back to front or front to back. So yeah, looking forward to just kind of taking in that whole story.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate that, Luca. That means a lot, man.
So, in terms of these questions, top 3 joys in life.
Payday, lay day, I get to sleep in, and heyday. I can do whatever I want to do. Getting money, getting sleep, and getting fun, I guess. Whatever I like to do. Top 3 joys.
Yep. Yeah, people, music.
Cinnabon.
Yeah, I would say yeah. Hanging with people.
I'm just trying to say things that aren't Cinnabon. It's like literally.
Music and cooking. Cooking's awesome, and just sharing a meal with people is nice. I'll never say sports because I do pay too much attention, but it only brings me sadness.
Yeah, it's true.
Where are you, a Leafs fan? Oh, too soon.
Oh, never too soon. Yeah, I think cooking, sharing a meal with folks, music, and then just being with people that you want to spend time with. That's the trinity.
It's the cheat code. Greenie, let's get it. Damn, this is a deep one. What is your, like right now, here, right here, right now, what is your greatest, I hope we can clear that sample.
No, I don't get to sample it.
Yeah. Well, what is your greatest achievement in life right now?
I always get that song confused with "You're Unbelievable."
Very similar, right?
What do you call that genre?
Contemporary kind of 90s soft pop. I don't know.
It had this edge to it though. It was like this UK like they're
U-
on the verge of something
U2
different.
Light, I guess. U2 Light or In Excess Light.
In Excess.
Yeah.
I would say it's like like pop rock. Yeah, like a poppy rock.
Right now.
But it was weirder or something.
There's kind of like an Australian twang to it.
Yeah.
Even if the band wasn't from Australia.
That's right.
Weren't they? In Excess is.
In Excess was, but I don't know if those other bands were.
Probably not. No.
Yeah.
Hey.
Maybe In Excess is the genre.
Yeah, maybe that's the
Yeah.
genre.
They're the trendsetters.
What was the question again? I forget now.
What is your greatest achievement in life right here, right now?
My relationships.
You really are a man of the people.
My relationships. You know, that's my greatest achievement is my connections with people. The people, you know, the ones that are really that I belong to.
So
I think that's the forever answer. Like that's the right answer for any occasion.
Yeah.
I would say right now at this very moment is helping this project and helping this situation. On the weekend, helping family make some sauce, make some tomato sauce for the rest of the season. So that was a fun experience. An important thing. Got to my friend's place a little late, but that's besides the point. I helped play a part in creating all those jars, getting all those jars looked after. So that's always a good one. That's always a highlight for every year. To help out with.
It's an annual thing, family
Absolutely,
affair.
Yeah.
I love it. P.S. You owe me some brisket, by the way.
You know what? We gotta do it right.
Yeah.
We gotta do like one day, like when I have like a proper barbecue, you'll come over and I'll make some.
I'll hold you to it, man.
For everybody.
If not, you gotta bring it to my funeral.
Yeah.
And then just lay it out on the casket and.
Shadow.
Yeah. It's happening. You can't. He's gonna say, we gotta do it right, and then I'm 90 on my deathbed, and he's like, we'll do it right. Don't worry.
You're definitely outliving me. Let's not get twisted.
Well, hey, who knows, right? That's the whole thing.
Just taking, I can just see him just taking the brisket to your open casket, just crying, trying to put it in your mouth.
You bite me, he's like, oh my God! That'd be the worst way to get bitten by a zombie.
Yeah. Yeah, we should probably think of a safer way, just in case.
While I'm singing One Sweet Day.
This is the most chaotic funeral ever. I want it.
Sorry, I never told.
I just do Michael's parts. I never told you. Yeah, no. I think that's how we got to do it. Now I'm planning. Thanks a lot, guys.
I'm getting so many great funeral ideas from you. Yeah.
I'm glad I could.
Like, what if I got 3 other guys and we dressed up like boys to men? Like we wore the shorts, the tennis shorts, sweaters,
the V-neck sweater,
the V-neck sweater. You know.
I'm with it, man. I'd actually pay to come and see you guys.
But then we butchered it, obviously, because we can't sing like them. You know?
Obviously, but I know that going there because I want to see it for myself. So, find your 3 guys, Shad.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay. It was on you.
Greatest achievement in life up until this very moment is making it to today. Every day I wake up and I question existence, and I question purpose, and I question being, and I question if we're alive, if we're all not trapped in the sixth sense at the ending. Mm-hmm. And then I wake up and do it again, and that's gotta be like, it's been really, really hard, and I'm here, gosh darn it.
Yep.
So yay for me.
Oh yeah.
But also being my mom's daughter, because that's a big achievement in itself. She's a lovely lady, and I'm very fortunate to be her daughter.
Phoenix.
You will meet her, and she'll love you, absolutely. She's she's like, oh, you're doing music. I showed her Get It, Got It Good.
Nice.
And she's like, he's a rapper? I said, yeah, Mom, Shad, he raps. Oh, but he doesn't swear. She was so confused. She's like, I don't hear F-bombs. Like, I don't understand. Yeah, he confused her. So when you meet her, I'll be like, this is Shad. He doesn't swear. And then
First female elder. I respect that so much.
Yeah, and she must
have had to hustle for that.
Well, yes, and she did so much in the church without asking for a role, asking for money, asking for a position or power, and they just saw that in her. And that's the type of person she is. Like pre-pandemic, she was driving seniors around to appointments, and she'd go to seniors' homes and be like, hey, is there anyone who's not getting visitors? Like, can I drop in and say what up? You know, like saint of the saints. Such a sweet lady. She goes to food banks on the weekends. Just an amazing human being.
Shout out moms.
So shout outs to moms. I love her with all my heart.
What's her name?
Jackie. Oh.
I love mom names.
Yeah,
They hit
Jackie,
me
right?
here.
It
They
couldn't
hit me
be
right here.
couldn't be anything else. Jackie.
Always.
Yeah.
What do you
my
got?
girl.
Mom name.
Her
Starts with a C.
real name, no, her real name
Oh.
is Immacolata, which is
Immaculata.
immaculate in Italian.
Yep.
And then they would call her Immacolatina, which is Little Immacolata. And now, but people
Beautiful.
since would just call her Tina. So she's Tina.
Immacolatina.
Yeah. I have a aunt. One of my favorite aunts is Immaculée.
Oh. That's so interesting how languages, like, you're from all the way over there and you're from all the way over there, but, like, language finds a way.
I like those old school names.
Oh,
I hope
yeah.
they make a comeback.
Me too.
Yeah.
Like old school English or like old school.
Just like, I think just either cultural or, I don't know, just nice, like, classic names as opposed to, like, Hunter,
Yeah.
Tanner.
Tanner.
Oh, there's Bryce, and I don't know. You know, people. I'm sure there's awesome people with those names, but like,
No.
I'm like, man,
Or like
I'm
Brent.
with you. I'm with you. I'm like, but what does it mean?
yeah,
You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah, Hunter, the
Zach.
one who hunts.
Yeah, what does it mean? You know?
Yeah, no, Zach. Well, it's funny because Zach is short for Zachariah, which is from
That's a
the
nice
Bible,
name, yeah.
but it was shortened in English to Zachary. So it's like people name their kid Zachary, not knowing technically it's a biblical name.
That's right.
But that's another story. Yeah. But shout outs to moms, shout outs to names.
You got one more?
Let's do it.
One more card. We're gonna celebrate. Oh yeah, all right.
Artist.
See, you earned your Cinnabon right there, man.
We are the
Artist.
same.
1, 2,
I'm gonna
3.
drive you to Dufferin Mall and drop you off.
No, that's like my nightmare. Just was like
Just setting
my
you up
mouth
for
came
failure.
shut and just my nostrils.
That's a good one.
Okay.
What song gives you purpose, comfort, or meaning? I'm gonna go. The one that always comes to my head. There's tons, but I'm gonna go Magna de Carnaval, Louis Bonfa from the Black Orpheus soundtrack. One of my favorite movies. One of my favorite soundtracks. Whenever I listen to it, I just feel a jolt of electricity. I feel good in the world. I feel romantic. I feel attached to the people that I really care about. And for a time, it was like, there is love out there. I know it. You know, this song proves it. So, and it still means the world to me. So, definitely that song for sure.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Read me the criteria one more time.
What song gives you purpose, comfort, or meaning?
The first one that comes to mind is the live version of Curtis Mayfield and the Impressions Were a Winner.
I knew it was a Curtis song.
That's the first one that comes to mind. You can't go wrong with, you know, My Cherie Amour always lifts the spirit.
Aw.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with We're a Winner.
Wow. Man, I love Stevie Wonder, if it's not clear by now. And he has a song called Another Star, where he has like I don't know if it's like a Cuban band or whatever, but they're doing like the hand drums, and there's like a build up and a breakdown. I mean, with every Stevie song, but then there's a part in the song. Well, the whole song, just like the intention behind it. I don't know. I'm cheating because that's not really the song I wanted to pick. I wanted to pick a Curtis song too. But Curtis Mayfield's Think A lot of people don't know it's the sample behind Beyonce's Resentment. So when I hear the original, I like always have to stop and listen to it. I remember there was one time I was driving home and the song was still playing and I had already like parked, and I think T was in the car too, and he was like we're home, like what are you doing? And I'm like, no, the song always has to play out, because it's like there's no words, but I feel like there's something being said in there.
Yeah.
You know. And Curtis is like the GOAT, man. He's my favorite. So anything he touches, I'm like, yes. But coming back to the gospel that exists and will forever exist, there is a song by Karen Clark Sheard, I believe, or Dorinda, one of the Clark sisters. It's called "I Told the Storm," and part of it goes, even though your winds blow, I want you to know you cause me no alarm, 'cause I'm safe in his arms. And it's like, no matter what religion you are or like what belief, it's like that whole feeling of like telling somebody like, do your worst, 'cause I know I'm better off. Like I know I'm good no matter what. That feeling. And then of course when the choir comes in and it's talking about like, I told the storm, you know, like I told the storm, you're not gonna mess with me. Obviously that's not what it says. It's a gospel song, right? But those words, actually, fun fact, when I auditioned for Canadian Idol years back, I actually auditioned with that song.
Oh, that's dope.
And then I made it through to the first round. And I was like, oh, this is great. Like, I'm going to be able to sing this song in front of, like, the country. Yeah. And then they were like, great, you made it through. We want you to do some funny stuff now. And I was like, I don't do funny.
Yeah.
So I walked. But that song always reminds me, like, even to tell the storm. And it sounds so ignorant, I guess, in a way, because even as we film this, there's a storm happening right now in Louisiana. Yeah. And it's like there are people who are actually physically going through that storm, and I can never relate or say to them, you know, any kind of encouragement. But for me, that personal feeling of no matter what is weighing on my head and my shoulders, I'm gonna be okay. And I can say that to my problems. So that's definitely something that brings me joy, and a song that sticks with me.
You also sing it fucking good. So that is a little cherry on top.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll send it to you, because the Clark sister who sings it is definitely, I mean, you know the Clark sisters, like they're just amazing. I don't know how a whole family of sisters can be that good. It's crazy.
But isn't that the case with like gospel? A lot there's just families who just run the show. Literally,
like family, the Winans, everybody.
The crowd, like it's all over the, like they're the mafia.
Yeah, they're the mafia of those harmonies.
Yeah,
absolutely. Oh man.
Yeah, this is a great one. That's a great question to end on. We could go around, like, just as soon as anyone says anything, just jogs your memory of more
songs.
Because I think you summed it up. It's like music can fill you with the sense of hope, right? And that's what you need. Yeah. You need that feeling, like it's possible, right? Or like love is real, you know? And when you feel it, then you can put the next foot in front of the last. You know?
Yeah. Yep. We all need that, man. Yeah. Curtis. Damn. Curtis got them jams.
I wake up in the morning.
Ooh.
Sunlight hits my eyes. You know? That one.
Yeah.
That song reminds me of music and all my friends in music.
Please elaborate.
Just does. I don't know why. You know, it might be experiences that I've had hearing that song out, DJs playing that song, but it makes me think of music and all of the wonderful people I've met through music.
But he's that type of, like, Bill Withers is that type of artist. Like, it's just so pure watching him play. Like, he's in it.
Yeah.
And the people that he has playing with them are also just the cream of the crop. Like you see James Gadson on the drum is just pure fucking Texas machine, just hitting this groove. Yeah. And they're all kind of connected together, and they're all just locked in. That's watching people perform like that is the most special thing.
Yeah. And then the songs are so pure too, right? Like, think about "Lean on Me," and I don't think I get chills whenever I think about it, because I don't think there's another song like that in our culture that anyone on the street knows that song, but it feels like it doesn't belong to anyone. The average person on the street might not know that's a Bill Withers song. They might not know that name. Right. They will know if it's a Beatles song or a whoever song. But "Lean on Me" just exists. Yeah. It just exists. And it's so simple. But like, so to me, to be able to even just write that song, it's like, I can't write that song. It's cool. This was really cool. This was a good idea.
I'm glad that my invitation to the darkness was well received and accepted.
It was really dope.
So I appreciate you guys.
It's a cool idea.
Thank you.
It is.
All right. And that's how you make a pizza.
We are the world.